So in the part 1 of this video, we saw how to create a to-do app in Django. So we created this kind of folder structure where we had our to-do app, the settings.py configuration, the backend part written in Django REST framework, which we completed. We wrote all the APIs. You can see all these APIs were created by us. And then we even created a front end, which was a React app. But the issue which we were getting while making the static files, we are getting this blank. So to solve this issue, all we have to do is go to our settings.py file and the static files dir. Basically, this should be S. So static file dir S. So this is the directories. It's a list of static file directories, which means we can have more than one static files. So we can have multiple static files. Every static file is served using Django. Okay, so this is a list of directories. So if I refresh this now, you can see a React app is created. This CSS I have created beforehand only. The code I'll be sharing. So this CSS is just some lines of code which you'll be getting in the GitHub repository or any zip folder which I'll be sharing with this video. You can see it's just some colors and some text boxes. Now, what important thing we need to check here is whatever APIs we wrote in Postman. You can see when we were working on Postman, we wrote these APIs. We wrote to get all these details. This is our internal use API. We wrote this API of writing task list. So task list basically gives you a list of all the tasks. Okay, so just to make sure it's not task list, it's tasks. We had changed the name of the API, so it's tasks. So currently it's empty. Okay, so we'll be integrating these APIs in our React project. So basically I'll be just going through what code we have been using. So for every React project we have been using state management. So in this state we'll have one to-do list. So this to-do list will be basically showing the tasks. So currently this list is empty for initialization, so it will be kept empty in our React as well. So active item, basically we are keeping whatever item we have to show. For example, if I have added an item known as do this part, so that part will be shown, and this pk title and completed basically we are getting from the response. If you can see here in our to do app backend, so to do app backend views.py, you can see if you get the task by pk, it gives pk title and completed. So this JSON as it is we are using in our state management. Okay, so if I go back to our app.js, so in our state we are giving active item as this. Okay, and we have kept editing as false. Editing means we can even edit the item, which means use a put API. Okay, so for now we'll be using two methods. First method is fetch task, and this fetch task will be called using compound will mount. Okay, sorry, component will mount. So component will mount is basically the first method which will run, and this will automatically call fetch tasks. So inside fetch task we are using our task API. So one of the best practices to use this is you can have this as a base URL. This you can cut as a base URL. You can take it from here, cut this and use base URL. Okay, and this base URL you can import from a file. You can create a file known as a new file known as environment.js, and inside that you can export base URL as this thing. Okay, so this way whenever you want to change your URL you can directly use this. Okay, and directly this can be imported. Okay, Okay, so we can directly import this base URL, and now this is one of the good practices to work on. Now this base URL basically gives you all the tasks. Okay, so it will give you all the tasks, and whatever task it is giving, it will be giving in the term of this dictionary. I'll show you which kind of dictionary we are talking about. If we go here, views.py, get all tasks, so here we are using results pk title and complete. It's the same kind of state which we are managing for our to-do list. So for to-do list active item, we are using pk title and completed. So what we have to do, whatever json is given by our backend, we just have to set our state to that data. Okay, so for now, we can remove this environment.js, as we'll need to do all so many changes. Okay, we'll just revert this environment.js, but it is a good practice to have that. Okay, now the response of this task data will basically create our to-do list. So this thing which you are looking at right now, there will be one drop down which will be rendering our to-do list. So we need one more function known as render. So render will be called here. If you can see, you'll find just render. So render will take the state's to-do list. So from this dot state, it will take to-do list, and it will just keep on rendering the tasks. Okay, this is our HTML file which you need to. I'll just be sharing this HTML file. It just basically gives you the active item dot title. Active item is basically our active list, the dictionary which we are showing from views.py, this part. Okay, so these things are rendered here. Okay, now on we need to add one task. So for adding a task, we need to create. Okay, so for creating, we have this handle change. Okay, sorry, yeah. So handle submit basically is linked with this submit part. So where we, let's say we add a task like do cleaning, okay, and we press submit. So what happens? So this handle submit is getting triggered. So it does a console log of item which gives this dot state dot active item, which means the entire dictionary. Then it takes a CSRF token which comes from the cookie, and it calls this create task create API. Okay, so let's do that part. We'll just add one task and we press submit. So you can see this task is this task is created here, and you can even check in your tasks API. This task is added, do cleaning. Okay, now if you want, you can edit this part, do cleaning again. So basically what is happening, a put API is being called. Okay, so this way you can basically integrate a React project and a Django app using these APIs. Okay, so you can see task update item.pk. Okay, this will help you to get to update the task. Let's say if you want to delete the task, you have an API in your Django which is known as task delete. If you can see this task delete in pk, you have to pass the pk with this task delete. You can see here delete item. So delete item takes task delete and task pk, and it basically deletes the item. So if you want to check delete part, you just have to click here and that's gone. It's basically deleted, and you can see how it is working. It's running on the same Django port 8000, and why it's running on that port, it's because of that static files thing which we did. So when we include static dirs here, static file dirs here, so it serves the entire static file. But before that, you need to make sure that you run npm run build. So npm run build basically creates this build folder, and inside this build folder we have static files, static css and static js. So this way your Django app and your React app communicates with each other using APIs. So I hope the API part is clear. The code will be shared, and in case you have any doubts, you can reach out. So whenever you have something like this, you just have to make such methods: delete item, strike item, unstrike item, add item, and inside that you have to use this fetch. Fetch is basically a JSON API, or sorry, JavaScript function, which can directly take a URL whichever you pass, the method, headers, whatever we pass. If we want to add authentication layer, we need to pass the headers here only. For example, if we need to add a token, so we need to add the token here, and however we get the token. For example, the way we got the cookie, we can get a token as well. It basically depends on how the JavaScript person or how the front end developer, you as a front end developer, are writing this code. But this is how you create a connection between your React application and Django application. So one more round of demo which I can show you. So coming back to the folder structure, you saw how we created to-do app. We created first the Django app, where we created to-do app backend, where we have all the settings.py written. And in this settings.py, what we did, we created a static files dir. Now before doing that, we created a React application. React application was called front end. Now this front end application had simple JS files and CSS files. We modified those files to make it look like this, and now we just added the integration of these REST APIs. REST APIs are all written inside the backend folder. All we have to do is, we don't have to run the front end folder differently. We just have to create a build, and the path to that build we need to pass in our settings.py file. Now that particular project of Django is rendered inside our Django project. That project of React is rendered inside our Django project. So this is how you basically create a complete React application. This is how you can do it. Hello world. You can submit it. You can add another. Submit it. You can add 2 3 more. Submit it. Whichever you want, you can delete it. So every time you delete it, it re-renders with one API. You can see here, you can inspect. So every time you delete it, in the network you can see, let's say I added do cleaning, submit, you can see create API is called, and then again tasks API is called. API is called just to get all the tasks and render it in this drop down. Let's say I deleted do cleaning, so delete API is called, and then again tasks API is called just to render all of these again. So this way React works with Django, and this way Django REST framework also works. Now this project is basically completed. I will be sharing these files with you over GitHub, or maybe I'll be just making a zip file and attaching with this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you understood how Django REST framework works, how a React app is created, and how basically you can make a combination of these three to make a to-do application. Thank you.